Welcome everyone to Infinitely Productions. In this video, we'll be covering over the ongoing feud between John J.R. Rubio and Joseph Skinny Joey Merlino. We have covered a altercation between these two verbally in the previous year, but in this case, we will show you at the end just for your own recollection. In the meantime, we'll just go over what's going on in the current events. Recently, Dominick Cicale, a former mobster turned government informant, has continued his ongoing war with Joseph Skinny Joey Merlino on his podcast. If you want to check out Dominick Cicale, you have to go on his channel, the Dominick Cicale Mafia Roundtable. That is his current podcast. And right now he's been continuing his ongoing feud with Joseph Skinny Joey Merlino, who is also a podcaster and to be the role boss of the Philadelphia crime family, which he has disputed for several decades. Dominick Cicale has been calling out Merlino and always felt that Merlino was a hypocrite, especially since due to his ongoing rant about how he feels about government informants, calling them rats, and say that he's sticking up for the good guys. That as Merlino always has claimed and has stood by this position from the very beginning once he opened up his podcast a few years ago. Dominick Cicale resents Merlino for not just the stance but also the way how vocal he is and with the name calling. Dominick Cicale has included guests that Merlino has strong resentment towards. That includes the reporter Scott Bernstein. Scott Bernstein has his own podcast called the Original Gangsters Podcast as the host. He has written a book with Crazy Phil Leonetti, who was a government informant who turned against Merlino and his father, Salvatore Chucky Merlino, and Philip Leonetti's own uncle, Nicodemo Lunicky Scarfo. He wrote a book called Mafia Prince, and Scott Bernstein was the co-author. Therefore, Merlino has resentments towards Scott Bernstein for his affiliations with Philip Leonetti and the commentary that he's made on his own podcast, the Original Gangsters Podcast. That is Scott Bernstein. Daniel Herman, who's been on the podcast of Gene Burrell, who's the former Bonanno crime family associate, has claimed that he's made business with Joseph Skinny Joey Merlino and Little Snuff and was the reason why Merlino got on the podcast on DJ Vlad's YouTube channel, Vlad TV, and never discussed why there was a particular falling out, but he has made public denouncement against Merlino and other people that's been affiliated with him. So Bernstein and Daniel Herman are the only ones that are not involved with any mob ties, but they made their own commentary within their own podcast. Meanwhile, the other people that Dominick Cicale has accompanied with them is Joe Barone, who is a frequent guest on Dominick Cicale's podcast, and Merlino has spoken negatively of him previously in other videos, and Gene Borello, who has a long history with Joey Merlino going back and forth for the few couple of years for their public denouncement against one another. Merlino has called him a rat several different times and many other different names, and Gene Borello has called Merlino out, not just him, but his co-host, family, and much more. And Gene Borello is not someone who bites his tongue either. So therefore, all these guest members have been included in Dominick Cicale's inner circle. One person that we did not mention, and he's the main title of this video, is John Rubio. John Rubio has a history of Merlino and also has been vocal about his stance against Merlino. We're going to show you the video about why John Rubio has more further aggressions towards Merlino, because Merlino on his own podcast, The Skinny with Joey Merlino and Little Snuff, has made his own commentary about John Rubio, and which we will show you in the end. In the meantime, we're only going to show you these screenshots of the video, and we'll give you the link to the description so you can watch Dominick Cicale's full video on real time. In the meantime, here's John Rubio's commentary with Joseph Skinny Joey Merlino, as you can see from here.
Rubio, how are you?
Oh boy,
how are you?
All right, good.
John,
Well,
what's up,
thank
buddy?
you for coming on.
What's
We
up, Gene?
appreciate it.
Thank Gene.
Yeah.
Okay.
Listen, Dom, guys, Scott, listen, I really wanted you and Rubio to go because you two have the best knowledge with Joey Merlino, especially John Rubio, to really co-sign all this stuff and, really bring up that nobody's lying on this guy and everything, that he's a fraud and he's complete. I've heard all the stories from John Rubio, actual fact wiretap stories, and it's good to have like him on here because first-hand knowledge, you know what I mean, of being, it's like me talking about Ronnie G, Dom talking about Vinny Bacciano. It's just first-hand knowledge. So let's get him started. Go ahead,
let me add to that, just for the viewers out there, because I know Joey, I know his bullshit. He's going to come out and say this guy's a rat. This guy doesn't know me. This guy is never.
I don't know him.
Watch
I don't know him,
John.
Yeah, I don't know
you
him.
don't even know this because we didn't even have this conversation.
No, I never.
When
I
you were
haven't
in
spoke
Arthur
to
Avenue,
you.
I think it was at the Christmas party.
Yeah.
You were there with a bunch of people. And
he paid for the Christmas party.
I paid for the Christmas party.
He paid for it, Dom.
A few of them.
He bought the ticket for him and Deb to
Listen,
come down.
this is for the guys. Let me speak. A few of the guys there know you were there, met you for the first time.
Yes.
And while you were talking with them, they said, listen, I don't do anything illegal and blah, blah, blah. But that was it. So we know you were there with Joey.
It was my party. Well,
okay.
The Fed's party, whoever it was, but yeah, it was my party, and he came. A lot of guys were there. Yeah. Well, let's just. I'm just
validating because Joey's Joey's Joey, but my viewers, everybody knows I keep it real. I don't have to bullshit anybody, and I got this from an outside source.
Well,
that's in the life that I still bother with every day.
Whatever I tell you today, it's not 50-50. It's not 70-30. It's 100%, and you don't have to take my word for it. It's all public knowledge.
Right.
Anything I tell you,
it's all
public knowledge.
John, are we talking about the Christmas thing and with at Patsy's
at
place?
Patsy's.
Yes.
Yeah. This is all on the court record, Dom. This is like this is.
I know, but I just wanted to reiterate that to the viewers because I've heard it. That you were there with Joe. Joey will say, I didn't know him. You know Joey. So I'm just saying I heard it, my own ears from somebody who's still in the life, still in the streets, didn't cooperate, that I spoke to. So
and use that.
There's FBI surveillance photos of Joey there. He can't deny that he was there.
There's photos on the internet of us outside smoking.
FBI surveillance photos of Joey at the party.
Correct.
Let's get Rubio rocking because when he was on the Johnny and Gene show, we got going, but we couldn't because the government came after us over it. So now we can talk on it.
All right, John. So where do you want to go with this, Gene? What do you want to lead into? What topic? Because
well, can I just say one? Let me just say one thing.
Go ahead.
Because it's been bothering me for a long time. For him to come on and say he doesn't know me, that's all that everybody needs to know, that he's a fucking liar. Period. Right. There's 50 to 100,000 text messages between the two of us. I don't know, Dan. You've had some relationships with Joey. Let me give this to you as clear as blue, and I hope he's listening, Joey.
Oh, he's listening.
Listen. Let me.
He's listening and blinking a million times.
Right. I never did drugs in my fucking life, ever. Wow. Not only did I not do drugs, I didn't drink alcohol my whole life. And I dare him, let him drop the link for that motherfucker. When we went out till 6, 7, 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, from 6 o'clock at night, I want him to come on here and tell him what JR drank all night. Coffee. All night. He never saw me with an alcoholic beverage in my fucking hand ever. Neither did Patsy. Neither did anybody. Because I didn't drink. And I don't do drugs. So he could say whatever he wants. The last thing I want to tell him is, tell him to come on with the paperwork that I ever committed a Hobbs robbery and tied up kids. Show me the paperwork where I ever pled guilty to that. Show me a 302 where that. I never did that. You want to know why I never did that? Because I never had a gun in my life. Either. Ever. Never had one in my house, never had one in my car, never carried one. That wasn't my department. My department was to make money. I didn't shoot people. I didn't beat people up. So I'm telling Joey, because he's listening, bring the paperwork on for all this stuff. Show me where I committed a Hobbs robbery and tied up 2 kids. Never happened. Right. He's a fucking liar. And that's been bothering me since he said it. And he says it a lot. There was no Hobbs robbery.
Listen, he went inside his friend's mother's house and robbed her money while she was sleeping. That's verified by people. So don't let him say what he wants. Believe me, he's worse than worse.
Gene, you've done a lot of research. We've talked a lot.
Yeah.
I didn't commit a Hobbs robbery, and I didn't tie up kids.
I committed Hobbs Act robberies. I'm open to say it. I did hundreds of them. Okay,
yeah, I'm just saying.
Hundreds of them. Don't worry about it. That's what you can't be knocked for that.
What's a Hobbs robbery?
Stealing. Mafia was built on tape.
You didn't watch the podcast where he said when he did me that I went into a doctor's office while the wife was there with 2 infants, and I tied everybody up and robbed the place. That's what he said. I don't know with what gun, because I never held a gun in my life. What gun? I don't know what he's talking about. And I can promise you right now, Scott, you have access to all this kind of research. Find, and I'm not accusing you that you said it. Find one piece of paperwork that says I committed a Hobbs robbery and tied up any kids. You won't find it because it's not there.
I was never asked about this. How could he get away with that?
What do you mean? Because everybody on YouTube believes him. And I always used to tell Gene, I don't come on these shows because nobody's going to believe anything I say. So what's the sense? Nobody believes.
Well, listen, Rubio, the best part of it, all your shit's public record, like Scott said.
Yeah, every drop of it.
Yeah.
So if anybody has any doubts,
get the paperwork. Yeah, go get it. It's all public record.
That's what I tell people with Vinny, with trial testimony. Pull up the trial testimony.
Yep, pull it up.
First, because they say I was a rat prior to this.
Yeah.
The first question Vinny asked me, the lawyer, did you ever cooperate with law enforcement in your life? Absolutely not. Never even spoke to law enforcement ever in my life.
You know what else we could tell Joey? He did that video with his big storage unit about all the 302s he has about rats. So Joey, you go in that storage unit and you bring out the 302 about a Hobbs robbery and do a podcast on it. I want to see it.
Oh, he did it already.
Yeah, no shit. He has a lot of things. He has a lot of things to say about me, but no fucking paperwork ever.
Wait, JR, could I ask you, why is he so against you?
My honest opinion?
Yeah.
And not to sound like a dick or anything.
That's fine.
I think that he actually liked me and I hurt his feelings. Because listen to me. Guys have testified against him for murder, everything.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't go after I am the one guy that he goes after all the time in his shorts, everything. I'm the most rat of the month to him of anybody. And and he can say whatever he wants. I could promise you, again, Scott, you could go verify this. We were very close. Very, very close. I slept at his house. I ate with his wife and daughters.
He goes
after me a laptop. You bought him a laptop.
Well, they did. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that was the Cougine. I'm dead out. That's the phrase. Cougine, I'm dead out. My daughter needs a laptop for school. I don't have any money. Sure. Huh. Okay. No problem.
Let's get into the real stories. Go ahead, Joe. Go ahead. Get going, John. Go ahead.
Yeah, John. Yeah, go ahead.
Gene's ADD's kicking in right now.
No, because I know. I've heard these from him. I want everyone to hear him. Go ahead.
There's a lot of them.
Stories, what he really is. Go ahead.
He's honestly, I know you're probably not going to like this, but he's a professional gangster, really. I mean, listen to me. One thing I could say about Joey is while he's robbing you, he makes you feel like a movie star. Period. That's what he makes you feel like. Okay? That's what he makes you feel like. The first night, and listen, he is a movie star. I know.
Yeah, you could see that. You could.
I'm not taking that away. He's a celebrity. Absolutely.
Yeah, he's literal. First of all, Gene asked me a question. When I was going to move to Florida, again, another bullshit story. He says that I got caught selling drugs and I went right to Florida because they told me to go after Joey. First of all, Joey was never a target of anything. I stood in New York for 2.5 years cooperating. And then, like I told them on the Johnny and Gene show, I was making so many recordings, they didn't have enough people to listen to them. So they told me to move to Florida where my parents were.
Even an agent got in trouble, right? Because of the recordings?
Yeah. So I went to Florida and I met Joey. And I was told before I went there to stay away from him because he's a human billboard and I'll end up in jail. That's what Patsy told me. Period.
I told you right.
Well,
he knows what he's talking about.
I was already fucked. I was already locked up. He just didn't know it.
Right.
So the first night I met him, I got introduced to him through Carmine Gallo, who was the guy that every time he did something wrong, Joey, and he used me as the scapegoat, don't worry, we'll send Carmine. Because Carmine was a gorilla. Like Carmine Gallo, related to the Gallos. He's associated with the Gambinos. Tough guy, really tough guy. Nice guy too. But anyway, I got introduced to him that I was with Patsy. We talked a little while, and the first thing that came up was the pharmaceuticals, the insurance fraud with the cream. And the bar was closing on Atlantic Avenue at 2:00 in the morning. And he came over and said, you want to come with us to after hours? So I said, sure. So we drove to this place in Boca and after hours. This is the first night I met him. And there's 200-300 people on the line.
Wow.
Not for him. Not for him. Right through the kitchen, just like watching the movies. All of us right through the kitchen, VIP booth, all night. He could party like a rock star, let me tell you. The guy could party like a rock star. And I'm telling you, when you go out with him, we used to go to the cigar bar Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and that's like a dead night between him and Rooster because they had a lot of business going on. Joey would tell me what to tell him. He'd tell me what to respond to Joey. You know, I just saw another thing. Like, the guy's delusional, Dom. He was on the Fat Joe podcast, and the Fat Joe asked him about, they call you the John Gotti of Philadelphia, and he's so fucking dumb. His answer to that was, because I did good things for people. That's why they call me that. What the fuck does that have to do with them calling you John Gotti? You handed out turkey, so you're John Gotti? I mean, he looks for any way to avoid things. But, I mean, we did so much. The same thing with the bookmaking. In his house, he had this big master, because I was into sports betting. I was big into sports betting. So we had this really good professional bettor that we were working with. His name was Benza. Again, all public knowledge. This is all public knowledge, all recorded, phone conversations, text messages. So him and Donnie, that other freehole of his roommate there, they had come up with this. Joey comes up with this master plan that he says, let's book these guys. He says, if they win 200,000-300,000, we don't pay them, and if they lose, we'll collect.
I mean, I've done that. I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, that's
right. But I'm saying he went into trial, and he goes on, and he said he never did nothing with me.
Yeah, see, Gene admits it.
Yeah, this is all. Yeah, listen, it was a great plan. I loved it. Yeah,
that's
we all did that.
All wise guys.
Yeah, but Gene, you know something? It coming from a boss of a crime family,
right?
That's a bad move.
I know, but they all do it. I see millions.
No boss does it though.
Fucking Ronnie G's worth $35 million. He should do it.
Now listen, if you're under me, you'd say, Dom, I have this. I'll tell you, go ahead, go. Do what you have to do.
Right.
Because I'm getting an envelope. But Gene, you're never going to blow me up and say, Dom gave me the okay.
No.
When we go to a sit down, I'll say, Gene, don't ever do that again.
I mean, I saw with Vinny. The fake situation. I love
exactly. But come on, a boss himself doing it?
Yeah.
That's a no.
So the first week they win 250,000.
Oof.
And so, he's not going to pay now. So they start following me around. They must have sent people the guy was from Ohio. They're following me around.
Wow.
So I'm calling him and I'm telling him. So I get this phone call, meet me in Boca Town Square outside this coffee shop. So we sit down and he says, this is what he said to me. So before we get it twisted, he said, don't ever send me texts like that again. Wait till you see me. Don't tell me people are coming after you. I'll take care of it. Don't ever send me texts like that. That's what he said, which is, again, somewhere buried in those 302s. So now Carmine Gallo's there, and this guy Benz is now coming into town because he wants to know where his money is. So he says, we're going to send Carmine to meet him. You stay behind. I said, I'm not staying behind because I already know what you're going to do. You're going to blame me. That's why you don't want me going. He said, no, Kujin, just let him go. I said, Joey, under no circumstances am I not going to that meeting. I said, because I know what you're going to tell Carmine to do. And these guys. So anyway, I went. Carmine came up with this thing that the bookmaker got arrested. Give us some time. So this is how everybody knows Joey. So the guy Benza calls me outside and he said, listen, you don't have to tell me. But that motherfucker Joey is the one that's robbing us, not you.
He said, Joe, tell Gene I love him like a son. He said, all my nephew Frankie did to Gene was use him. He said, tell Gene he is much better than Frankie could ever be. And the only thing Frankie will do for him is to bring him down. He said, Gene always earned and Frank couldn't shine his shoes. The difference between Gene and Frank is Gene tells the truth as he knows it. Frankie reads the newspapers and makes shit up.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that's what he used to, and it's right here on my text. So, he told me he loved you. He says, you guys just, and the problem he had wasn't Vinny Basciano, it was another Vinny from another body shop.
Yeah. Vinny,
yes.
I went to go collect the fucking money and fucking, I got followed by fucking law enforcement.
Yes. Yeah, he verified everything that you said and all of that. Like that. He loves you. He says Gene is like the best.
We went to kill Vinny Limo for him when Patty went to North Carolina. We were there with silencers, bro. I tried to get Vinny at the house. He jumped out the window, the guy, bro.
Yep. So he told me all of this stuff. Yeah, we had the longest conversation. We're gonna go out for lunch Monday. Maybe we'll give you a shout and see what's going on.
Patty was a serious guy in the Bronx, man.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Oh,
he bought me a bezel for my Rolex. He was a good dude. I love Patty.
He grew. Listen, we've been friends since we're kids, and he told me that his brother Steven, I don't know if you know his brother Steven that died. He went and he had to collect money from you that you had for Pat, and he said, "Oh, this guy's a scary guy." He wanted to have a fight with me one time, Steve. I said, "Hey, no problem, brother." Yeah, but he loves you. He told me to tell. He was so happy that we talked about him on the show.
Yeah, Patty was a good dude, man. I used to go to South City on all the time. But what the fuck is going on with Dom shit? How the fuck did he get kicked off his own show?
Welcome to this week's edition of Mob Talk. I'm Dave Schratwieser.
And I'm George Anastasia.
George, we're in South Philly to talk about a guy who came to South Philly, the government informant in the big Joey Merlino case in New York, J.R. Rubio.
Yes, and that case is going to rise or fall on Rubio's credibility.
All right, George, let's talk about J.R. Rubio, the key guy in the case against Philly mob boss Joey Merlino in that big New York City case.
Yeah, he's the guy who's wired up and is recording a lot of conversations. And there's a real question now about whether he was playing fast and loose with the protocols and the way to handle this, and that's why the case against Merlino was, I think, shaky at best.
All right, there's some hints that he has a little bit of a problem of his own right now.
Well, the report out in New York now is that he's back in jail, that his bail was revoked. And why was it revoked? We're not going to know because a lot of the stuff is done under seal or behind closed doors. I mean, one theory coming out of the guys in the Merlino camp is Rubio was off the reservation so long that in order to keep him kind of under control and rein him in, they've put him back in jail. Maybe we find that out if this goes to trial. Right now, we just don't know.
We'll never really know that because he's under an assumed name. If he's in prison, it wouldn't be on the regular Federal Bureau of Prisons logs, that kind of thing.
Right. More than likely, he's in some county jail in a protective custody wing, and they're trying to take care of him. I don't know how happy he'll be in that kind of situation. My understanding is he was never happy with the way he was handled to begin with, and this is going to just exacerbate him. We'll see what happens.
All right, let's talk a little bit about this. There's a lot going around about the tapes he made, how he made them, how he was supervised by the FBI. I don't want to say this is a scandal, but it is not good for that case.
It doesn't look like it's a good situation, and it goes to what Rubio was doing when he was in Florida. Apparently when he was in New York, everything was pretty much by the book. And those are the guys that are all pleading out in this case. Mm-hmm. But when he was in Florida, he didn't have strict supervision. And they talk about the chain of custody in terms of evidence. When Previty was making tapes, he'd go make the tape and then he'd meet with the FBI, give him the tape. In Florida, that wasn't happening. And tapes were turned on, turned off, that kind of stuff. He also was in New Jersey at Memories, we believe, at a party. Right. And he also was here in Philadelphia. The interesting thing we're being told, and I think it's accurate, is when he was in Philadelphia, he wasn't wearing a wire.
Now, why would that be? Why would that be? Here's a guy in Joey Merlino's hometown with his guys, from what we know, new details we know, nobody else knows. He's in town with Merlino's guys, and he's not wearing a wire and he's not making tapes.
The only explanation I can get on this is there was such friction between New York and Philadelphia that New York, despite being the sovereign state, Southern District of New York, doing whatever the hell they want. Yeah. In that particular case, they didn't want to step on toes here and say, we got our guy in your town wired up, because I think they would have to tell Philadelphia.
Right.
And they didn't want to tell Florida, they didn't want to tell Philadelphia. It's New York being the 500-pound gorilla.
All right, so from what we hear, he's riding around in the cars with the guys, visiting different spots in Philadelphia. Yeah. We don't know how many trips he made, but we were told multiple.
Right.
He's not wearing a wire. They're all buddying up with him because Joey's vouched for him, basically. I think some guys were skeptical of him, yet they kept traveling around with him, and they probably could have made some pretty damn good tapes.
Well, yeah, I mean, that begs the question. I think what happened here, if you look at that indictment, they talk about the East Coast racketeering enterprise up and down the East Coast, including Philadelphia. Yet not one charge in that case has anything at all to do with Philadelphia. Yeah. And nobody but Merlino from Philadelphia is charged. So I think it was the federal government, basically, I think, they threw Joey into that case to give him another big name at the top of the indictment.
Yeah. Now, we've heard this, you've heard it, I've heard it, it's not a secret. that Rubio might have taken a little fascination with Joey Merlino, that he liked the guy. He liked the way he moved. He liked the way he was socializing. He kind of liked the panache that goes with Joey Merlino. We all know about that. He's the social media mogul of the mob. This guy liked to travel with Joey Merlino, it sounds like.
And when he was in Florida, I think he had a really good time. And I'm told he once said, look, all of these guys use you and take your money. Joey makes you feel good while he's doing it. Yeah. I mean, and I think he did enjoy being around Joey, the charismatic guy in Florida. Whether that works for the government's favor or whether it becomes a problem, in large part it's going to depend if Rubio ends up on the stand. And that goes to the question of, are they going to go the full 100 yards in this case? Look at what we got right now. We got 46 defendants. As best I can determine, 44 have already either pled out or agreed to plea out. The 45th is probably going to take a plea. So you're left with Joey, last man standing. Do the feds want to go to trial with Joey, put Rubio on the stand, bring in all the information about FBI possible misconduct, because you know Eddie Jacobs is going to bring that stuff in?
Sure.
Do they want to risk all of that in order to attempt to convict Joey? Flip side of this is, and we know this already, Patsy Perillo, the lead defendant in that case, pled out, and he got sentenced to 84 months, which was above the guidelines.
Yes.
So it's a real gamble on both sides. Joey's taking a risk. If he goes to trial and he loses, he's looking at serious time.
Yeah.
Conversely, if the feds go to Eddie Jacobs as a defense attorney, will hold the government accountable.
All right, but one place we do know he has some of the Philly guys on tapes is up in New York at a Christmas party. I think it was at Patsy Perillo's restaurant.
Right, yeah.
Bunch of guys are up there. Some of the top names here in Philly are up there with him at a party, and we've already seen a couple of tapes come out on that.
Absolutely. I mean, so there are tapes in New York that include Philadelphia guys, but as I said earlier, nobody in Philadelphia was charged with anything in this case. Yeah. So where does that leave you? The other thing is Rubio's got a lot of baggage on his own. I mean, he started cooperating because he was jammed up in a drug deal, and you know that's going to be brought out when he's on the stand. Why are you doing this? You know, you're dealing drugs. You're trying to get out from underneath your own problem. It's the standard kind of arguments.
Yeah.
I'm just very surprised. I would be surprised. It's almost like a challenge, I guess, to New York. Do you really want to go to trial to convict one guy when you already got 45 guys? Is your ego so big that you have to go to trial? And on the flip side, as I said, Joey's taking a gamble, but I'm told Joey's telling his friends, I don't care if they offer me one day, I'm not taking it.
All right. The gamble here is, though, what you talked about before, that Joey could get some serious time. One of the defendants was sentenced earlier this week. He got 5.5 years. He's one of the real lower guys on the totem pole, and the judge smacked him pretty good and told him, don't ever come back here in my courtroom or you'll really see what punishment is like.
Yeah, I mean, Joey's got 2 serious priors. That all factors into it, too. 2 serious priors. He opts to go to trial. That works against him if he's convicted. And I think, as I said, if Perillo got 84, Joey's looking at 84 plus if he gets convicted. Yeah. But I think he believes he won't get convicted. He keeps telling people, I didn't do anything wrong. I'm a gambler. I'm not a bookmaker. We'll see.
And he says, listen, do me a favor. Stay away from Joey Merlino. Patsy don't want any attention. He doesn't want he doesn't want attention. He said, listen, this guy's got an entourage around him all the time. He loves the spotlight. Do me a favor. Stay away from him. Well, obviously, I'm working for the FBI. That's impossible. So to answer you, a long story short, Gene, I made my way to a place in Delray Beach where I knew he was going to be. Somebody introduced me as being with Patsy for over 20 years. And the rest is history. He took a liking to me, and before you know, we were doing business.
Can I ask you one thing, John?
Sure.
The Philadelphia mob, now, there's like nothing. There's like 5 guys. The Philadelphia mob is like a joke almost, but I'm saying, what exactly is his role? He's the boss of 5 guys? Like, I don't understand, like, what is his thing? He like, what is his whole concept? I know he loves the spotlight. I know he's a gangster. I know he is a bad guy, but what is his actual role? He's the boss of the Philadelphia mob. Do they answer? What is his role? Like, what is he doing? He just walks around. People take pictures of him. Like, that's his thing. I mean,
well, I'll give you a little brief history. You know, before I left, you know, Buddy had told me, listen, this guy's, and Buddy's in the know. I mean, listen, there's no 2 ways about it. Buddy Torres is in the know. He was doing business with Philadelphia, a lot of construction stuff and everything. With George, he was very close with George Borghese. He told me he's the boss of the crime family, period. That's what he said. Now,
of 10 guys.
Well, yeah, I don't even know if it's that many, to be honest. I mean, to be honest, I met 2 guys. I mean, that's it. I mean, and, you know, at trial, that was a big thing that they fought that. And, Judge Sullivan said that he didn't believe that he was, but I know he is. I mean, listen, I lived with him. I mean, I lived a life with him. I spent 7 days a week with him for 3 years. He used to text me at least 50 times a day. I mean, he's a degenerate gambler. It was all about sports gambling.
Right.
But listen, whatever came out at trial, I lived it. I know the truth. And no defense attorney stumped me, and I didn't stutter once, and I know, I lived it with him. I know what he did. So, and listen, I don't care whether he went to jail or not. I had to testify no matter whether he went to jail or not. But, yeah, I met Dominic Grande, and I met George Borghese, and that's about it. I mean, I'm not really quite sure. He's very, very friendly. There's a lot of Bananos in Florida, and there's a couple of Gambinos. He is very, very close with Daniel Marino, the son. Very, very close. Danny came to Florida often and spent a lot of time with him. So maybe he's doing business with them or anything. I mean, listen.
Well,
don't get me wrong.
Danny's, yeah, I don't know the son like that, but he's
on everybody. I mean, there's no safe haven anymore there. It's just not like the way it used to be. And, I'll mention one guy, and I don't know how far in detail you want to get about him, but Joey Merlino every day for 3 years told me he's been telling people for 10 years that this life is over. And this is a powerful person saying that. I mean, it's over. This started out as really, cooperate, my original handler said, maybe 6 months. And anyway, it started to take off. And well, the end result turned into 5 years, unfortunately, but they couldn't keep up with me anymore. I mean, I was everywhere. I mean, I was doing business with Stevie Crea. I was doing business with the Bananas.
Tell people who Stevie Crea is so they know.
Stevie Crea is the underboss of the Lucchese crime family, who just recently got convicted of murder. So I was doing business with all these guys, a couple of Banana guys from Westchester County, from the Bronx, and they just couldn't keep up. And I had went and visited my parents in Florida. They had a summer home there, and I loved it. I never had spent a whole week in Florida, so I came back, jokingly, and I told my handler I want to move to Florida. And he said, "Oh, you're crazy. You're a cooperator. You can't leave here." So about a week later, he says, "Listen, I can't keep up with you anymore. I'm the only one listening to these recordings. I can't listen to them fast enough. You can move." So I rented a place in Florida, and I had to get it approved by Patsy first. I couldn't just leave. I had to ask him if it was okay to leave. So he said okay, and he hooked me up with a couple of guys there, and his right-hand man, his henchman there, was a guy named Buddy Torres. I don't know if anybody's familiar with him, but
Buddy was a tough guy.
Oh, yeah, certified tough guy.
So that will come out eventually in the future.
Well, Franchise, he's a scammer his whole life.
Millions they take, millions of dollars. But
he's a fucking scammer.
Before we go over to Patreon, that you're going to hear J.R. Rubio. Joe, for everybody who's just new to the channel and just subscribed, this is our first rat of the month. But explain to them who this guy is.
This is a J.R. I met him down here. This is another guy who got caught selling fucking drugs, was getting 20 years. 20 years he was getting dead. And he went to work for them. He wore a wire for fucking 5 years.
Tried to put over 100 people in jail, right?
Well, the more people you got, I guess the more money you get.
Amazing. Really is.
He wore a wire. I didn't know him. I never seen that motherfucker. I met him down here in a fucking bar.
Crazy.
I never did nothing with him.
So for the full episode of this that you're about to see, the best ever.
Yeah, I found a couple more fobs with the J.R. Rubio. This I listen, there's so many missing. I could play we could talk about him for a year.
Yeah.
What a sick guy. This guy was sick. And listen, this is why he's an informant working for the FBI. He's not supposed to do violence. He's not supposed to commit no crimes. He's supposed to just go along with the investigation.
Yeah.
This did everything. He had a license. This shows you. And then he gets caught and he wants to blame the FBI. Every time he gets caught, he blames somebody. He blamed the FBI. He said the guy Bill Anzarelli, the case agent, he said he made him do it. It's always somebody made him do it. It's never him.
It's never him.
The FBI didn't make him do it. He did it. He had a license.
Yeah. For the people that didn't see when we talked about him before, what year did this take place at, Joe? And where was this guy from?
I don't know where from New York. I met him down here.
Yeah. And when were you on trial for this case, Joe?
What was it? I got pinched 16. But he was working for him from. They sent him down here to get me. I mean, their case in New York was wrapped up, and they just wanted me. And he sent him down here to.
Crazy.
I guess 14, 15.
In that area.
I went to trial. I got pinched 16. I went to trial in, what was it, 18?
18?
Yeah, 18. I got 2 years.
For no reason. It's crazy.
2 years for making a bet. The whole world bets. There ain't enough prisons to put. If anybody bets, there ain't enough jails to 2 million jails.
Grandmoms would be in jail.
Yeah, everybody be in jail. 2 years for a bet.
Sick.
2 years.
You want to play the first one?
And Cicale got 18 months for killing a guy in Florida.
How's that possible?
Because he was a rat back then.
Yeah.
Believe me. I could get 18 months for killing somebody, especially in Florida. On a drug deal. A drug deal going bad, he got 18 months. I got 2 years for making a bet. You do the math.
So it doesn't make sense to me. So, all right, so the first one we got, this is what we're going to play.
Too, and go over them with you. We got so many tapes of this idiot that we could stay here for 2 years.
I'm ready when you are if you want to play it.
Yeah.
Why do you lie? What's the need for it? What's the need for it? There's no need on when. So what do you lie for? What do you lie for? So it's a problem? Go back into the psych ward. Tell them you're a habitual liar. You need help.
Cut that off. He's telling the guy. Now here's a guy. I don't know who he is. Mike. I don't know what the his name is. He was betting with JR. And JR said his brother-in-law Augie. It ain't his brother-in-law, whatever the and probably another rat with him. Anyway, this guy Mike was betting. He lost $25,000. They charged him interest, so he owed him $50,000, whatever the it was. They set this. This is how they operate. This is how they fabricated everything. This guy's mental. You just heard on the tape. He says you should go back to the psych ward for lying. The guy's up. The guy's tried to kill himself on pills and everything. And the FBI's listening to this. They're letting him do. Just listen to how he talks to this guy. This is it's sick. Go ahead, Chris.
You do realize you should have killed yourself, right? You're useless on this earth. You realize that, right? You do realize that, right? Yeah. And your kids are going to grow up just to be like you, a low-life piece of if they're not already.
That's
you
nice.
realize that, right?
Talking about his kids.
Am I getting you mad enough that you want to do something to me yet? Am I getting you mad enough that when I see you might want to fight? No. If I talk about your kids or I talk about your slut girlfriend or something, anything I could say to you that'll make you want to swing at me when I see you? No. Huh? That your mother's a whore, your girlfriend's a whore, your kids are retards. Anything I could say to you that'll make you want to swing at me when I see you on Monday?
Chris, shut that off. No. Now you hear the guy. The guy's scared to death. He's saying, "Yeah, no." He's cursing his mother, his kids, calling his kids retard. He wants him to fight him. They ain't supposed to. You're not supposed to be no violence when you make the deal. There's no. He wants this guy to swing on him. He's provoking this whole thing.
Yeah.
The guy's a nut. He's sick. He's in the mental ward. They took his bets. Listen, they took his bets. He keeps on saying, "Oh, I got to go see this guy, that guy." He probably blamed me. He said they were my bet. Nobody had. It was him and his brother-in-law doing it. They were keeping the money, whatever they were doing. They didn't even tell the FBI. I mean, it's a joke. Just listen. Okay, continue.
Why not? Are you that much of a pussy? I just told you your girlfriend's a whore. Don't that make you mad? No. No? That's because you're a low-life idiot. That's why. Now, I'm going to ask again. Where is this kid's money? I will go see my father tonight. You lied about that, though, so what's the sense? Why are you going to lie again? Your father didn't get no mortgage. You're a liar. You know it. Augie knows it. I know it. So why are you lying again to me? Your father never got no more.
Get down with my father. How's that sound? Then you could
I don't. I'll call him a liar to his face. I don't give a shit. What is he going to do? Go to the cops and say, "Oh, I'm making him sign a paper because he's a bookmaker"? Oh,
Shut it off, Chris. Now he's telling the kid he wants the kid's father to get a mortgage, and the kid said, "Okay, I'll sit you down, with my father." He said, "I don't go about your father. What you going to do? Get me locked up for bookmaking?" Meanwhile, he's the right. He's instigating the whole thing. This kid's he's sick. The kid's sick. He's a kid. He's a guy. I don't know what he is, but he's mental. He's in a mental institution. He needs help.
And the FBI is listening to this whole thing.
Well, I mean, yeah, I think they're supposed to be, but this you can't go because he makes his own tapes, and he with me he reset. He did whatever the he wanted to do. Yeah. He might have not turned that into the FBI. Yeah. He's keeping the money if the kid pays him the $25,000. He's got this kid going to his father to remortgage his house. This is how sick they are, and it's entrapment because he goes to the kid. You're going to hear on other tapes on Patreon. He's telling the kid to do Medicare fraud, steal copper. I think the kid worked at a railroad. Steal copper, get crooked cops, make him run tags, Medicare fraud. He's trying to get him to do everything. The kid's not coming. He's going to the kid because the kid owes him money, and the kid's probably just saying, I could do this, I could do that. He's trying to get out of it. And he's forcing the kid to commit crimes. It's a joke.
I honestly can't believe, well, I can believe because I can hear what goes on, what the government allows, and what these rat informants are allowed to do. Like, they really walk around like they got a badge, like a license.
Did you already say, what do you think I'm scared of? What you going to do, get me locked up for bookmaking? Call the cops? I'm a book. I went to jail for betting. Yeah. He's still booking in the program. Crazy.
Yeah, it really is.
Does that scare somebody? Does he think he's scaring somebody? By making us sign a paper? Who's that scaring? Who?
I don't think it was to scare anybody.
So is it to scare? To protect you? Why would he want to protect you? You're better off dead. You know what your mother said? That she wished that the pills worked. You know that? Your mother said that.
I'm sure.
Do you know that? Yeah, she did. Don't be sure of it. It's 100%. That's what she said. She said she wished the pills would have worked. That's what your mother thinks of you. So just imagine what I think of you.
Nice guy.
So again, I'm going to give you one last chance to...
Nice guy. Yeah, he tried to kill himself, the kid. He took, I don't know what the kind of pills. He didn't die. I guess they saved him. They didn't work or whatever the he took. But the kid's mental. He's telling him you should kill yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just...
He's like provoking him for violence, for anything. Like anything. Wow.
That's just crazy. He should have killed. He should have killed himself, JR. How about what he says? What you think you're scared? I'm not scared to go for book. No, you got a license. You could do whatever you want. You could do whatever you want. You ain't getting locked up. You could commit any crime you want.
That's crazy. It's real crazy. It is. So the rest of the tapes are going to be available on Patreon. Head on over for the full episode. Also, don't forget, question and answering Friday. Me and Joey. You have to be a Patreon member. Sign up. Make sure you get on there.
And that pretty much concludes our video. Let us know what you think down below. Do you think John J.R. Rubio has a point, or do you still side with Joseph Skinny Joey Merlino's commentary? We would like to hear from you, the audience. If there's any feedback or recommendations of any public feuds that you would like for us to cover, let us know in the comment section down below. This is Infinitely Productions. Stay tuned for more content.
Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to our channel and check out more of our content. Feel free to give your feedback and suggestions on what we should do next in the comments. This is Infinitely Productions. We love ya.